I'd love it if Deaf Girls would play it. And I was like, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's like everyone else would hate it, but yeah.
Oh, genuinely. So like we ended up like we were like, what do you want us to wear? And they were like, we don't care. So we showed up wearing trash bags to this wedding. So we were in like, it was a beautiful outfit. We were wearing trash bags that I'd like cut out like arm and head holes out of. So we were wearing those. We played a cover of Livin' the Vida Loca that we'd like messed up. So it was like had like beat downs in it. We like the pub was also like it wasn't just like the weddings like people, it was like full of just other people enjoying a night out and then just us being horrible. The bride's mum then came up and said, yeah, I've really enjoyed that. I was like, did you?
No, you.
Welcome to episode 76 of the Cassidins Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deerings of the show. I interview bands and public figures from the Mathcore adjacent communities. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them and I'll try to read them aloud. If you like the sub for $5, you get access to some exclusive emotes as well as access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming services. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this in your car and have no idea what I'm talking about, the show is first shown live on Twitch. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday at twitch.tv/thecassidins Creation for the live cast. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest today who dropped their debut full-length, The Horrible and the Miserable, last month. Welcome in Deaf Goals. How's it going, guys?
Yo, that was
Thank you.
some Busta Rhymes kind of speed.
I was gonna say,
that was so quick.
Absolute flames.
That was so sick.
Jesus. Professional.
we are professional
God we
here.
got
We are
one.
professional here.
Yeah.
Except I totally forgot to put your logo on the picture with us too, on the screen with us too. So I'm doing that right now. But tell us who you are, what you do in the band.
I am Harry. I do yelping and guitars.
And I'm George. I play drums and do some of the yelping as well.
Two Yelpers. I like it. I like it.
Two yelpers.
We love you.
So Deaf Goals is a hell of a name. How did y'all end up landing on that?
Honestly, I was just going through the alphabet and pairing letters together, being like, what are good like words to go with this? And then I was like, Deaf Grips is really good. What else can I do with DJ? And then Deaf Goals came up. I was like, that's got to be a band, right? Like Life Goals, Deaf Goals. Oh, that's kind of clever.
Right.
And then I looked up and I was like, no one's thought of that yet. Idiot. It's mine now.
It is a sick name. It is a really sick name. Did you really
Thank you.
try to come up with it by making something that's D&G?
I was just going through like genuine letters, but just like, what's a good like, what name? Like, I know I wanted to be 2 words, but I don't know what. So like, I was going through like books and like just being like, okay, let's find like a random word and like just go there. I was like, Deaf is just always a good word to have in a band name. Like, let's just go there and then work through it. And also like, it's proper emo to be like, oh, my Deaf Goals. Like,
It is definitely.
it's like emo, which is what I am about.
So it looks like your Facebook started in March of 2017. Is that about when the band started?
Yeah, we were April 2017. It was at uni. I started Deaf Goals at uni in London. That was very fun with lovely Will, the first drummer, first of many drummers.
Oh, really? Y'all
we've had loads
before this. Okay.
we are like the Spinal Tap of hardcore. Like we've had so many goddamn drummers. It's ridiculous. Like there's Will, Kieran, Harry, George. Okay, so three drummers, but still that's too many.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, we would go to them. We like had like my old band was sort of dying out, like math rock alt band sort of thing. It was cool, but
doodle 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 sort of stuff.
yeah, all the like tappity tap stuff.
Yeah.
But like as that was dying, I was like, I just want to play shows, and I was really into like really high energy, like chaotic music, as I still am. And I was like, cool, Will, you like black metal and like metalcore stuff. Want to play in a band with me? He's like, yeah, sure. And then it being 2-piece, I just booked just loads of shows, and then we just did stuff. But like the first show we booked after the first practice, because my friend heard us practicing. I was like, oh, that was cool. What's that? Do you want to play our show next week? And I went, yes, let me write 6 songs. So it's been non-stop improv from day one of me just going, yeah, that's fine.
So
Very
Will,
silly.
you were in the band from the beginning then, or?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm the only like OG member.
Okay.
Mm.
So but like Will, you were on like all the tracks that have been out then, or?
Yeah. So Will was on the first
Okay.
the split we did with Pupil Slicer, and the first EP was like Stacy and That's a Gold Hat, Cool Cat, and all that.
Okay.
Then we split from him, or I split from him. It's me. I split from him when I
wasn't
went back
there.
home.
Oh,
Yeah, George is not upon it.
oh, okay. I'm confused. So I was looking at your lineup on
Oh.
Rate Your Music, and it just lists you, Harry, and Will. And so I thought it was weird how the name said George on the camera.
No.
Okay.
What? No.
I'm trying to fuck with the system.
Honestly,
I'm everyone now.
George is every woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
So
makes
no,
sense.
Will Taylor, who's still in London, doing bits. Then after that, we released like a couple songs, like Wretch, Wither, and Serotonin. That was with Kieran, who is lovely. I adore Kieran, a ridiculous drummer. And then Harry, another Harry, was drumming for like a couple of months.
Yeah.
He plays in like a load of ridiculous bands in the UK though, so shout out Harry. And then Josh joined, and it's all been good since.
I came in, yeah.
Nice.
Just what was that? End of 2019 that I joined. Just as we,
Because we did the show together.
yeah,
That was a nightmare. And then we were supposed
Yeah.
to do a tour, and then COVID happened, and then it didn't happen.
yeah. So like we were meant to do this tour. It was like Death Goals and my old band. I used to play in this like fucking post metal band. We went to do a tour together, and the guy that was gonna drum for Harry like dropped out, and I was like, oh, I'll play 2 sets tonight. That'll be really fun, won't it? So I'll play like this really fast and ridiculous Death Goals set, and then I'll play like a 45-minute post metal set where it's just blast beats. I was like, do you know what? Actually, that is the stupidest
Yeah,
idea. I think
horrible
I've
idea.
ever had.
Horrible.
And then COVID came along and was like,
And
"I'm not
saved
doing
you
that
from
tour."
it.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, I remember like when the tour got cancelled, I was like, I was really like fucking bummed out about it. And then there was a thing in the back of my mind that was like, yes.
That has a pulled double duty.
Because obviously everyone thought that like COVID would be a couple of months, if that. Not however
A
long
year
it's
and a
been
bit,
now,
yeah.
Right.
a year and a bit. So I thought it'd be like, okay, I don't have to do these 2 tours, and then I could just go on a tour where I just play a Death Goals set, or a tour I just play in the old band or whatever. Old band broke up, and I was like, right, now I just have to do Death Goals sets, and I haven't
Yeah.
done any.
Originally George wanted to be like a manager
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Death Goals. He was like, hey man, I got this idea. I'll like help you out and sort you out. I was like, I don't want to be in Death Goals. I expressly do not want to be in Death Goals. It's too much for me right now. I'm not ready for that. I'll just manage you. I was like, lovely. And then the old band died, and you were like, can I play in Death Goals though?
Yeah.
You just-
I came crawling back.
So it's
That's the
always
lineup.
been a 2-piece. Like, why
Always.
not fill out the whole band?
Because it's easier to book shows with just 2 people.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that was the thing in London, where I would literally be sat whilst pretending to do uni work on like London hardcore or like UK promoters or whatever, and seeing like, oh, the Black Heart needs a show, someone to open a show tonight, and Shackwell Arms need a show tonight. Sick. I'll apply to both. Whoever replies first will play the show. So I would message Will, being like, all right, we've got a show tonight. We need to be there in an hour. Like, which is honestly a horrible way to book shows and a horrible way to look after your mate. Like, I drilled him into the ground with like playing shows. But we played some cool shows because of it. But like, it was very like lastminute.com. Just grab any show. Like, that's very much playing shows is my thing. Like, that's the thing I love doing more than anything in music is to play shows. So I want to do that as much, which is why I just become a chaotic mess. And not anymore. Now we have people to organize that for me, so I'm not in charge. Thank God.
Well, so you dropped a whole bunch of stuff in the past. We talked about like all your singles, your EP. Now you dropped your full length finally, which is
Yeah.
awesome. It's done so well for like
Thank you
y'all
so
being an
much.
independent
Yeah.
band, just like absolutely killing it. Aside from the way better production value, what's different musically this time around?
It's more varied. I think it's more like
Yeah.
actualized in our thing. We were always very like eclectic in sounds, or like we listen to a lot. I listen to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the Spotify like algorithm has no idea what to do with me. I'll be jumping from like Portrayal of Guilt to like Charlie XCX to like
Yeah.
Madonna, and then back to like Black Dahlia Murder. Like we're jumping all over, which is good because like it's interesting. Like I could never be in a band where like it's one vibe for the whole thing. It gets very stale to me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like watching like like a black metal set or whatever, I just lose my mind after a while. Or like,
Whoa.
oh no, we love a bit of black metal,
We
but
love a bit
like-
of black metal.
but when it's just one vibe for the whole set,
A bit
like,
of black metal's nice, so not a lot.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
black
yeah,
metal.
just a sprinkling.
A
Like,
just a
smidge
sprinkling.
of black metal.
You don't want to like overdo the pot on the black metal. Like it's an overpowering spice. But like it's just changing, keeping it going. So like I think this was the first time, especially because we had a load of like usually I would rush songs. I'd have like an arrangement. I'd be like, this is fine. We'll go in and record it, put it out. Because of Rona, I had to sit on the songs, and there's a lot of like, for once, having someone who wrote lyrics as well, having someone who was invested in the sound. So I was sending like 5 different versions of one song to George, and then George would be like, "Oh yeah, cool. I like that version. I've written some lyrics for it." And we're like, "Wonderful, that's a song." So we spent more time on it. I felt able to experiment with sounds more and be like, "Cool, we can be eclectic and stuff." We've never done one sound so much that that's our thing. Like we're not like a band that does like Gorilla Biscuit style like hardcore or like post rock stuff. Like we pinch from everything because that's what we do. We're samplers. So yeah, that's kind of thing. Just being able to be more interesting in our sound choices and obviously production as well. Shout out Tom. Make us like a real band.
For real.
So Harry, is George the first drummer that's like actually like worked with you in making songs, or like do you just like present a song to your other drummers and like say, hey, make a thing to this, or how does that work?
Oh no, I used to be really like I used to write everything. So like I can play drums as well, and like I do it. So I often write the full like arrangement and lyrics, and I just go, here's a song, learn it, we're gonna start playing that soon. Like Kieran was the first drummer who would be like, oh, here's an idea I kind of have. I was like, lovely. Like it was never a case of me being like, I don't want anyone else to have any ideas.
Right.
It was one no one gave any ideas. So I was making them. But George came in and was instantly like, okay, so I've got like a 60-song Spotify playlist of like ideas I think we should do. And here's like a book worth of lyrics. Do with it what you will. It's like, awesome! Because I hate writing lyrics.
Sick. Yeah.
And like, it meant we could like throw stuff back and forth. So like, the more post-punky stuff was something I wouldn't have done ever. But George was like, oh no, we should do like a post-punky, like noisy thing. That's how Exit Wounds came up. Or like, changing like breakdowns or being like, just having someone you could bounce stuff off of. So good. Like it made like my life loads easier and actually made me enjoy writing Death Goals stuff again. Like, because I was beforehand I was just like so over it. And now it's joyous again.
Nice. George, when you came in here, were you expecting to have like a hand in making the music and stuff, or were you more thinking you're just gonna do your part and he's gonna like present songs?
To be honest, I'd almost say that I didn't really give Harry a choice. I was like, so Harry and I have known each other for years. Like we're from the same town. Before I was even in the band, I was a huge Death Goals fan.
I was a huge fan of his old band as well.
Yeah, so like, you know, and like, so we kind of knew how each other worked, how we like wrote music. We play in another band together as well, so like we have that. Like we have already written music together. So when it came down to like when I joined, and I suggested the idea of suggested is probably the right word. I was like, we're doing an album.
Yeah,
We're making
I was
an
like,
album.
I'll do another single, maybe an EP. You're like, no, we're doing an album.
We're doing an album. And then, so from there, like, because I was like sort of doing the kind of management bits beforehand, like I'd heard a bunch of the demos already. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I think this would work. This wouldn't work. Let's do something then, like, as Harry mentioned, like the Spotify playlist, being like, let's write something that sounds like this, but with what I already know Death Goals sounds like, and the way that I already know that Harry writes music. It was a thing of like, I wanted to see what Harry would do with the ideas that I'd already had. If that, I guess that makes sense.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
See how we influence each other and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
it does sound a lot more, I guess, what's the word? Thought out. A lot more thought out than
Yeah,
before.
like
You'll have like actual song structures and stuff going on where you're like going back to choruses and stuff like that.
yeah.
And
That's the thing
I think
I
you
love,
did
though.
that a couple times on the other stuff, on the other material, but this
That was
time,
always like, yeah.
this time it's really like right there. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Like, that's the thing. It's like more like I said. I was talking to my friend about this today. Like, my final project for my uni thing was a Death Goals was the Stacey single launch. So the single launch of Stacey Let Me See a Stegosaurus was my uni final project.
Really,
And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and it was sick. It was such a good show. But like my tutor was like, "What do you want this band to be like?" And I was like, "I want it to be the like gnarliest, like Dillinger Escape Plan, but with Taylor Swift choruses." And he was like, I don't know how the fuck you're going to do that. I was like, I don't either. But I feel like we're getting there. Like the idea of we can push to like the most extreme, like Helen Keller or like Exit was like horrible, just like in your face stuff. And then we can also do like Nothing Left to Give or like,
Yeah.
there are songs on the album where we can do that. And I know we can just keep pushing that. That's what I want. Like the ability to do that. And like, we also showed each other loads of music in those like first week where like, I didn't know who the Bled were, or like loads of these sort of bands who you're far more into, and I showed you a lot of stuff like Mets or whatever who you didn't know. Like it's good. It opens up our palettes even more to new ideas and such.
Yeah, massively, massively.
Honestly, I kind of feels like where Me and Him Call It Us would be like if they were still around. Are you guys into Me and Him Call It Us?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
sick.
That's like whenever I was
Trippy.
hearing your breakdowns and shit, I'm like, dude, that's totally the. Oh my god, what was the name of it? The one with the guy with the knife, like looking. Dude, what was it? Peter Jennings pulls his knife to the horrified look of bystanders or something like that. I was totally like, that's absolutely like what they were going for.
That's the one with like the woo wee.
Yes,
right
yes,
there,
yes.
That's the exact song that's on the playlist.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, you got
that's
this. You're talking about being like all encompassing with a bunch of different genres and stuff. You got like breakdowns and tons of panic chords, spoken word passages, hardcore sections, screamo sections. All this makes it super varied and a powerful album. And at no time do I feel like bored or do I feel super overwhelmed. And it's a nice short running time, which I fucking appreciate like hell.
Yeah.
All these bands trying to put out like hour-long albums is ridiculous.
Oh no, fuck that
So,
shit.
like,
Fuck off with that.
The thing is, right, is like, I think that what, like, our main focus for doing this record was like, let's make a record that we want to listen to. Like, if
Such a cliche to say, but it really is.
But it is like, you know, we before this, like, you know, obviously no discredit to anything that was put out before, anyone who's been in the band, but like, the band wasn't big. The band didn't have like, it was like
The band still isn't big. Let me just point out.
Yeah, the band's still not big.
We're
but,
not
like,
fucking like
it was
under
like it was like mates kind of thing, which was sick, and it was like, so I guess that was like, there was like no expectation. It was like, yo, we fucking love Panic Core Breakdowns, so let's just make a shitload of them, and then if no one fucks with the album,
At least
cool.
friends will dig it,
yeah, friends will dig it, and I can sit in my room and listen to the Helen Keller breakdown and be like, fuck, this is so sick.
Hell yeah.
Talking about y'all aren't big. Y'all are like headlining shows and shit now. Come on now.
Ah!
Yeah, you're getting up there. You're getting up there.
Ah.
But yeah, seriously, this stuff makes me like inspired to write stuff again, to write music again. Like,
That's
Oh,
sick.
dude.
I was just walking
That's
around with
so
like
sick.
those kinds of breakdowns going in my head all day after listening to the album.
Dude, it's
super
mad
great.
though. Like,
You're like definitely in my top 10 for the year. I'm not sure exactly what slot
Oh!
yet, but you're
Dude, that's
definitely
so
up in
sick.
there.
yeah.
That's so
Behave.
sick.
We were just having a chat with one of the members from For Your Health who was saying a similar thing, which was really weird to hear because
Yeah,
I fucking
because
love For Your
That
Health's
band are
album.
so good.
And hearing
that-
them going
that
like, oh yeah,
record-
that's one of our albums of the year. It's like, what?
That,
Stop
honestly,
it.
that fucking record is honestly like, I mean, I know it's the same for Harry now. Like, that's one of our top albums of the
yeah.
year already. Like,
The For Your
I
Health
remember
album.
for
when
sure.
when it came out, like Harry and I like fucking spamming each other with messages, being like,
Literally at the
after,
same time, be
every
like, have you
song-
heard this?
Yeah, like after every song being like, yo, this is the sickest part of the album, and then both listen to the next song and be like, no way, actually I've changed my mind. This is the sickest part of the album.
It's so good. It's a ridiculous album. But thank you so much. Honestly,
for real.
hearing anyone say that stuff is really weird to me. But thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll get ready to hear a lot more of it. Like, dude, people are gonna definitely be putting this in their top 10 list. So what we already talked about the writing process a bit. So the lyrical inspiration, the lyrics are dark as fuck. Holy shit! Like listening to, I was like reading along with the album, like god damn. Talking about depression, suicide, bad relationships, feelings of inadequacy. It's basically like you hating yourself. Like, am I right? It's
Yeah,
about what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
much
how it be.
I mean, that's you know,
That's our bread and butter, really.
the fact it's called The Horrible and the Miserable, there's pretty much one reason. It's because it's like, here's a load of shit that is horrible and miserable. Like,
Yeah.
about shit. And it's like, it's so funny. I have this conversation with people a lot when they listen to the record, and they're like Harry and I are the most upbeat, like extroverted people in person, and like talking to other people. And then like you listen to the album, and you're like, "What the fuck is wrong with
Gen-
you guys?"
I was showing it to one of my friends at work, and they were like, "I'm genuinely concerned for both of you." I was like, "We're fine." I
Probably have this picture of
yeah.
like you guys sitting in like a dark room with like knives out and shit. And
yeah, like what the fuck's going
we're
on?
just
Like,
we're just two summer boys. It's
yeah,
fine.
honestly,
Summer-
big time.
But yeah, I love
Having
these
a
kinds of
lovely
lyrics.
time.
Very few frills, just straight going for it and being just vicious. It's fucking amazing. I wanted to read a section of A Different Type of Headache. Nothing gets better.
Oh, please.
Nothing gets better. That's what I'll tell myself, so that when I wake up, I know what to expect. Nothing gets better. Nothing gets better. That's what I'll tell myself. So when I look in the mirror, there's nothing left to detest. Nothing gets better. Nothing gets better. That's what I'll tell myself. So I keep myself alive because I'm already dead inside. Holy fuck, guys, that's so good. That's so
Can
good.
I just say as well,
Thank you.
right? All right, I'm about to gas you up so damn bad.
Uh-oh.
This is all George. This is all George's lyrics.
Oh,
so
sick.
like the album lyrics split wise, like writing, I'm gonna say like 70-30 to George. George
Okay.
generally came in and wrote huge amounts, or at least like wrote and then I edited and like twisted. Like I think the only songs I purely wrote were like Okay Sad, The Horrible and the Miserable, the verses of Helen and Gender Traitor. Like so 4 songs were like mostly me, and then the rest is like all George just spitting bars. And then me just going like, I'm just gonna tweak that and change that verse there, and oh, I like this
Yeah.
word better. But like George is like the lyric king. And like all the old
I'm
like
blushing,
his old
I'm
band,
blushing.
the lyrics are banging. Like it's a Grog Punk's classic moment.
Well,
Epic
you
Gamer,
fucking killed
Grog
it,
Punk's
George. You
moment.
killed it, man.
Thank you so much. I fucking like when I was like writing for this, I'd write like, you know, like a paragraph, and I'd send it to Harry and be like, yo, like now you have to try and put this, like you have to do these vocals on top of you already playing the most like fucking deranged guitar parts. Like, and I'm not doing any of the vocals because fuck that. Like I might do some blast beats and then do like a little yelp, and I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm all right. Actually, you do all of them. Here's a paragraph. Here's like 13 pages.
But that's how you can tell. You can tell which songs are which because Grog uses like every word in the fucking dictionary. I use 4. Like all the lyrics are dumb short, like to the point. George is a lot more like fluff, but like it's good fluff. Like yeah, like you pad it out more.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
even
think
say it's like fluff.
It's
Like
so good.
it's all just like, to me, it's pretty
it's
straightforward. Like
hard.
there's a little bit of imagery stuff going on, but like it.
Yeah, like
I
that's
think
what I
it's
mean
just,
though.
like,
It's
hard-hitting,
it's a
you know?
lot more like poetic and like
Mm.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just it's more.
Has a little more feeling to it, I guess.
Yeah, it's mine are very like just
Honestly,
straightforward. Like
My
George,
fucking
you write good
ego
lyrics,
right now
babe.
is
You write good
going
lyrics.
off the scale.
Don't worry. Saturday when I see you, I'll knock it out.
Yeah.
So this was recorded, mixed, and mastered by Tom Hill at the Brookhouse Studios in August.
Oh, boy.
This is someone y'all haven't recorded with before, right?
No, but George has.
Yeah, so I recorded. I used to play in like it was like a one EP like metalcore band, I guess you could call it, and I recorded with him. And Tom plays in a band from the UK called Modern Rituals, and they're like one of my favorite UK bands.
Yeah.
Like real like post-punky kind of like weird vibe to them. I never know how to describe them, but they're like just such an amazing band. And it's like I've been a fan of him and his work for a while. I recorded with him, and he's like the most down to earth person. Like really gets involved in the project. Like whether that the EP I did with him before, it was like a day, and then even like our record we did in like 3 days.
Yeah.
So so when it came down to thinking about who we wanted to go with, it kind of seemed like a bit of a no-brainer to be like, this dude's sick, this dude's worked with sick bands, this dude's in sick bands.
He gets the sound too. Like he knows what we'd be after. Like
like when we were sending him like the demos, way before we even went into the studio with him, like as we were writing the album, like through lockdown or like the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, like we were sending him demos, and he was like, he'd be hyped on them, and he'd be like, okay, I know this is going to sound sick if we do something like this. And it was like, to have that from a producer was so, I don't know, I guess like
It's
it was
helpful
so
bouncing it
almost
off of somebody else.
yeah, because like
100%.
because we, like the majority of the record, there were some ideas going all the way back, to like 2019 or like way before then, with like some of the stuff that Harry's had, things like Shrike, like are fucking old.
Oh really?
And then like, yeah, I don't know, like because we were writing it just between the two of us, sending stuff over like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, and it was only going between the two of us. It was kind of like, what if we get to the studio and Tom turns around and he's like, this fucking sucks. Like, and it's like, okay, we've booked 4 days in the studio to record this album. If it sucks, we're gonna have to rewrite everything in the studio, which is gonna make it more difficult. It's it's not even like we wrote the album together in person anyway, so we wouldn't. I think the idea of having to then sit there and be like, okay, shit, let's rewrite this now, would be completely out the window, because we didn't have that already. So, but he's the best guy. He's the absolute best guy. Recording with him was so much fun, and
he takes no bullshit. If you mess something up, he's like, you can do that better. Or like, he was really good at like capturing a vibe. Like we recorded the vocals like facing each other in the same room, so we could just fucking hype each other up. And he was like literally like beside us, being like, "No, next one, mate, next one, run it." Like it was like. The Blair on Horrible and Miserable was improvised, and he was like, "You're doing that again." I'll do that again now. Like there were loads of bits like that it's had such a good energy recording with him. And recording can be so awkward, like
Yeah.
Right.
especially in a studio, like it can be so fucking weird. Like
Yeah.
it was
I
was
hate
so
recording.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're like,
I
is
hate it.
everybody
I-
staring at me right now? What the fuck?
It's awful. It's
Honestly,
awful. Especially like this, we'd only played the songs together. Maybe twice. We had like two sessions
twice.
together of like learning the songs, getting them good, and then we were recording them.
Yeah.
So we were like, we have got so much pressure, and I was like, I was writing the lyrics for the Horrible and the Miserable, like in the studio as well.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you were still finishing bits up to like the day of recording,
Yeah.
and like chaos.
Professional
Chaos, boys.
professional band.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
professional.
yeah. Real
We are so
professional.
fucking professional. You've got no fucking clue.
So Harry, is that you on the cover, man?
Yeah.
Oh, let me get that
It's
art up real
me.
quick. Whose idea was it to do that for the cover?
Now this is gonna sound weird, but it came to me in a dream.
Did it really?
Yeah.
What kind of
well, the
fucking
original-
dreams are you having, man?
Oh, not good ones.
Ones like that.
Yeah, ones like that. Basically,
Yeah,
like
right.
I'd done a photo shoot with the guy who did the photo, Gabriel. Shout out Gabriel one time.
Yeah, for real.
And he had that like cool, like that's in his like nan's garden, and he had like this really cool like broken down like wooden thing. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. We should put like a sheet in front of that. And then I had a dream about it where like there was a person like laying like flat on the floor like in front of it, like they'd just been dropped there. And I was like, oh, that's sick. So we spoke about it, and we were like, that'll be cool. Let's do that. So we did a day of shooting of that, and then whilst we were there, we were like, let's just do some like alternate versions, because I think you had an idea about like someone tied to a chair,
Yeah.
and then
Don't ask me why I had that idea.
No, yeah.
That was a separate.
also
dream.
with you. That was a separate dream,
Yeah.
but I was also in.
Yeah.
So like here's what's fucked, right? So they were like, okay, Harry, we'll tie you to the chair. I was like, okay. We'll put a balaclava on you. Okay. So I was sat, hands tied to a chair, balaclava on my face, no clue what's happening, and they just left me for a good like 10 minutes just having a chat, and I was just like, okay, this is awful. This is a horrible time.
You say left. We were just at the other end of the garden.
I was alone. I was frightened. But yeah, we did that artwork in Gabriel's garden. Like,
Yeah.
I think I love that artwork. After
Dude,
so
yeah.
much umming and ahhing, and like we changed it. We changed it like last minute. It was going to be the person on the floor, and then we were like, no.
And
Like,
it was gonna,
I
it
think
was gonna
that image
text on
is-
it as well.
Yeah,
then
and I
we
was like,
scrapped
no.
that idea.
I wanted it to look like you know, the Pianos Become the Teeth, like first two records.
No, I never heard of him. I never heard of the
Oh!
band actually. I really need to.
Oh, what?
yeah.
dude.
I need to check him out.
Pianos Become the
Sick.
Teeth are sick.
Yeah,
But their
trust.
first few albums are like have these incredible photos on of like that are just so bleak. They're amazing. A great band, great band. But I wanted to have that, just like an instantly iconic. What a wanker! Like it just instantly like, oh, I know that's the Death Goals album. It's not a really convoluted like massive images or so it's really hard to tell. You just it's a guy with a balaclava in a chair. That looks like that. It just gives you a vibe of that's horrible.
Right.
I don't like that. Everything about that isn't nice.
Dude, yeah,
That was
it
the
fits
perfect vibe.
perfectly, man.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
good.
It's so freaking good.
Obviously, shout out Gabriel. Nailed it.
Yeah, for real.
You guys did 3 music videos for this.
Hell
I
yeah.
meant to have them up. I'm getting them up right now. So bear with me.
Nice.
Quick. So first one we were gonna. Well, so I don't think we can look at which one was it? I'm not sure we could do a different type of headache, just because Twitch is weird and I don't want to
That's
get
fair.
banned or
That's
whatever.
calm.
But we could definitely talk about the other two. First one we got up is Shrike.
I mean, talk about all 3. We just didn't need to show them. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, sure. We can talk about them. First one playing is Shrike, though.
hell
So
yeah.
whose idea was it to do this?
All of these were my idea.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
really?
love
Okay.
music videos.
Yeah,
I love
Harry's
music videos.
Harry's like the visual absolute fucking king of this stuff. Like, I'm so shit with like.
You're a
music video
business boy
ideas.
though. You got a
I'm
good
the
business head and
I'm
like
a business
this.
guy.
Okay.
And then like the actual creative side is like all Harry.
Duty.
Well, so like, where'd you come up with this idea though? Like just running down the
So-
street and shit?
Basically, I didn't realize until after we'd filmed and shot it that it's essentially the video to OK Computer by Radiohead,
Okay.
which is perfectly on brand because their video is someone running from a car, but obviously done in a far more high quality manner. So someone commented like, "Oh, it's like mathcore OK Computer." I was like, "We've done it.
Sick.
We've done it, boys. We've
That
done
is
it."
absolutely so sick. Fucking. love
yeah.
Radiohead.
Like that's literally my family car, my mum and brother in the car chasing me down a road. Originally, I had done it with my mate, and then like there was issues with the footage, and like it wasn't long enough, and I couldn't edit it right. So we just redid it again. That is the second take as well, and the only take we managed to do because I had eaten such a massive dinner beforehand that instantly after filming that one, we drove back up to do a third one. They drove back round to come at me, and I just started puking in the middle of the road. I guess it's over, boys. Too much pasta. It's game over.
So George, is that you beating the shit out of Harry at the end, or what?
That's my brother Louis.
It's your brother.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So like because
There's a good history of in the video for Wither, the guy beating me up in that one is also my brother. Is my other brother. So both my brothers have abused me in videos.
so because Harry and I live in separate places, I like actually wasn't there for any of the videos because of how like the restrictions were here with lockdown. So like I couldn't like go back home and do any of it. So yeah, all the filming or everything like that is all Harry and family. Yeah, just family.
Like so, yeah. Shrike is my mum driving a GoPro or like a dash cam that I then had to like smash apart to get the memory card out of, and then my brother running out the car and just beating the crap out.
What
of
did your mom think of this for a music video?
Oh, she loved it. She thought it was hysterical.
Yeah.
She's
Your mum
a
is so
twisted.
sick.
She's a twisted
Yeah.
individual. I came up last night and she was watching a compilation of people getting eaten in Walking Dead whilst like doing a collage. My mum is mad. She's on some
Your mum
madness
is
all the time.
so sick.
She's a
I
nightmare.
love you. Man.
She's great. Like very very enabling. I was like, Mum, can you come chase me down with a car? She's like, yeah, I guess. So that was a lovely little evening for us. Yeah, it's fine. What people do.
So you did a music video for another one, Gender Trader. We got
Hell
that one
yeah.
in here. What's
Oh.
the idea behind this?
I love this video. I've loved this video so
I
much.
think it's good. Yeah.
I'm a big like drag fan. Like I've like tattoo. I used to do really bad drag when I was at uni. I love it. I love it. And this was an idea of like, obviously we were away from each other. We couldn't do anything massively easy. And I tried a load of different ideas. I tried like a really like slow-mo, like I'll put some flowers in a blender and it'll be really artsy. It just looked like shit. Like I tried a load of different things. And then I was like, let's just do like a side-by-side like thing of just us two. One of us like almost like someone like you're having a Zoom party and one person is rocked up in just like a nice shirt and the other one has gone far too hard for this Zoom party. Like they're in full makeup, like they've got the beers in, they're having a great old time, whatever. So I was like, perfect, we'll do this. And it was like super low budget, super easy. Like the most money we spent on that was me just buying different face paint and just working out what I wanted to look like.
Yeah, I was in my work clothes anyway.
Yeah,
I just logged off of doing work, turned my camera on my phone and was like, I I've got to record a music video. I've got to make some dinner. Like
we're low budget queens. Like
yeah, honestly.
we can make it work. And I think that video looks really cool. Like we have the
I love
the
that
added bonus of being quite because we're so grotty as a band, we can get away with it not being like a high quality thing and just it making it a bit grim and like people are like, oh yeah, that's fine.
A little like
the fact that-
unsettling.
The fact that Shrike, a video that is shocking quality, is like one of our most viewed videos now. Is same with Serotonin. Serotonin is a 1,500 views on our YouTube thing. And that is a thing that is fundamentally a broken video to look at. That I just edited together. Like, we're very good at taking a broken thing or something that isn't technically correct and making it work for us.
So I just got a little notification from Google saying that they're gonna end the call in like 5 minutes. So I'm going to end this one and send you a link to another one real quick. I'm sorry about this.
So
They
sick.
just started
Alright.
doing this. I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
We have a question we ask everybody here. What do you put on your hot dogs?
Ah, the GOAT question. I'm so excited for this. It is the options there: chili, 100%, jalapenos, cheese.
Okay.
That's
Very
a
straightforward.
banger. I love it. But also, if it's like that's if I'm like, okay, I've got a place, I know I can go there. If it's like, also a bratwurst and like a bun, like deal at like a fair, just go ketchup mayo. No, not mayo. What the fuck? Ketchup mustard.
Ew, ketchup. Come on, man. That's too sweet.
What?
It's too sweet.
I'm king of the sweet things. I'm all about sugar. Like, honestly, I'm a sugar fiend. Alright?
Yo.
Oh no, I'm echoing again.
You got something on there making it.
Damn it, George.
Come on, George. What's going on, man?
What the fuck?
This is professional. Okay.
How is it now?
Check.
Yeah?
Hey,
Good?
looks
Yes.
good. Yeah, we good.
Good.
Nice. It's so weird. I just have to unplug my headphones like every time.
Find your
weird.
headphones, bro.
It's probably
Find
why
your
you don't
headphones.
spend like, yeah, I was gonna say, don't spend like £2 on headphones.
We were just talking about what we put on our hot dogs, George. What do you put on yours?
Oh, all right.
Can you turn the camera like a little bit to your left? Yeah,
there you
Get
go.
your beautiful
There we
face in here.
go. Yes, now. Jalapenos for starters. Jalapenos are the best on anything.
True.
What else? Do you know what? Like, I don't know, because I'm not a sauce person. So like, this question is like, I don't know. Wait, Harry, what did you do?
I'd said if it's a place where I can get it, chili, cheese, jalapenos.
Mm,
If I said it's just like
Chili,
a
yeah,
sausage
big
in
time.
a bun, like I'm going ketchup mustard. So I'm a simple boy.
nah, that's fun.
So what do you eat it
Uh,
dry then, George? What's up, man?
Well, I mean, like,
One of
Yeah, you
those
already,
people?
like-
so
you like
like,
it dry, bro. Fuck.
So like, all right, if you get like the hot dogs from like IKEA, right? Is that
Yeah.
a universal thing that IKEA
Yeah,
hot dogs?
Yeah, I
Like here in
think,
the US.
they've got them here in
Yeah?
the US. Yeah. I think they have
Okay,
hot dogs
so,
and
like,
stuff there.
So like, if I get it there, I will get a sachet of ketchup, but I won't enjoy it. But it's there. It's there because like otherwise my mouth is gonna be dry as fuck, and I don't need that. And
You just got to muscle through it.
yeah,
That's
but
the
okay,
most emo shit you can do. Is make yourself suffer eating a fucking hot dog.
All right, but if there's chili on it, that's calm. But if,
Yeah,
if it's
chili
like-
does the job of many things.
How is
I don't know,
chili
maybe I
different
thought-
from like ketchup or something though? Like different from a sauce, you know what I
nah.
mean? Because you say you're not a sauce guy.
This is.
Are you
this
just
is-
putting dry chili?
Okay, so like, I'll maybe have. I see. It depends what. I don't know now. I'm really.
This is
on
a
the
fun
spot.
question, mate. Come on, I'm glad to push up.
Yeah, these are the hard questions, man.
Yeah, honestly.
people
I
come
might
here.
put- All right, I'll allow
Brilliant.
barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce, but barbecue sauce
you
doesn't go on a hot dog.
fucked?
What do you
Okay.
mean, you fucked?
On a hot dog.
Barbecue sauce is better than ketchup, man. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
I
wrong.
like them.
Fundamentally wrong.
Come on.
Fundamentally wrong.
In what world is ketchup better than barbecue sauce?
You were
True,
saying
true.
you were saying ketchup's too sweet. Barbecue
That's
sauce
'cause
is
it
just
is
as
too
sweet.
sweet.
Well, okay, hold on. So here in the U.S., we have two different kinds of ketchup, right? I have barbecue
Okay.
sauce. There's the tomato-based ones and then the vinegar-based ones. Vinegar-based ones are king, like they're S tier. So I don't know what you guys got over there, but if
Okay, got
it's
Yeah,
Our sauce
tomato-based,
game is weak in the UK.
It's
It's okay.
so weak. All right, actually, I'm gonna come through with a real one here. All right, I do love hot sauce. I
Okay.
fucking love hot sauce.
Yeah,
but
you're a
again,
hot sauce.
it doesn't go on a hot dog.
yeah, kind of right.
But it could.
It could. Jalapenos, like the spice is good because it's got the crunch as well. But I don't want hot sauce like making like the bun soggy. I don't need that. Like, I'm not trying to
actually-
have my.
Bro, you're absolutely tapped in the head.
So you're just
What
gonna
you
take
mean?
some
You're
ketchup
fucking
and just
sad.
like and just suffer through
Yeah,
it. I
I'll
like
just
it.
suffer. I was stand outside of IKEA.
If I ever
And, like,
go,
put the
if there's
ketchup on,
ever hot
and I'm
dogs at a show, I'm getting you one, and it's
What do you
only
mean
going to be
there's
ketchup.
hot dogs at a show?
Just dip the whole thing in there, bun and
Yeah,
all. Just
I'm
dip it
dipping
in a
it.
vat
Yeah,
of
yeah,
ketchup.
You're getting ketchup with a side of hot dog.
Ketchup with a
I
side of
I
hot
dip
dog.
it into a glass of water and I yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
Uh,
Delicious.
so you guys aren't signed, right? You're independent.
mhm,
Indie Kings.
mhm.
Nice. So you're super successful as an independent band. Almost 4K streams on release day. Like I've seen bands signed to big labels that they can't achieve that, which is crazy. So, what advice do you have for bands that are like you guys want to go the independent route? How can they do as well as y'all did?
Genuinely, get someone who knows what they're doing.
Okay, so you had a
Yeah,
publicist then.
We've got a friend called Joe Booley. Shout out. He runs
Shout.
Beth Records. Shout out.
Shout out.
He basically came on. He used to manage Grog's old band.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll manage you guys.
Yeah.
He's been genuinely like the third member. Like
Yeah.
just
100%.
so hands-on, so like on it. He's always sending us messages like, guys, I've seen this guy's ordered a tape. I'll message him and see what he can sort us out something in the US. Or like he's just on it. He's just got a really good head, really good connections. Like genuinely have as much as having a team sucks or like isn't like very cool. It's
Yeah.
only one guy, but he genuinely has made like our entire world so much easier. And also we
Yeah.
don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think just to caveat that, like having Booley like as a manager for us has like I think it's really difficult sometimes where like, you know, your bands will have a manager come on and like the manager's it sounds kind of stupid to say this, but like the manager's main thing is like, yo, I want to make some fucking money off this band, like, and obviously we pay our manager. We're not like that. Don't pay your manager. That's the first step to being successful.
Yeah.
Don't pay your manager.
Dunk your hot dogs in water. Don't
Yeah.
pay your manager.
Yeah, exactly. No, but like I think like you gotta have someone who really gives a shit about the band and the music and you know, just the success of the band being as much theirs as it is ours. Like with the, you know, we talk to Booley about this all the time that like as Harry mentioned as well, like he is the third member of Death Goals. He is the only third member of Death Goals we will ever have because fuck getting anyone else in the band.
I want a maraca player.
No.
Oh. I thought
You
I'd
ain't-
reach out now, just a public forum,
ain't-
just so we can discuss this.
Yeah. No, but like it's like having him has been so sick, and he's been so amazing with everything. And I think, you know, going from a position where we were like, it'd be sick if the album does all right, but we're not doing this for anything except for the fact that we think the music is sick.
Yeah.
To it then being like, oh shit, things are kind of happening now.
Mm.
And he's, you know, even like when things are starting to happen, like he's been really good with all the organization for that. And essentially, put it, phrasing things in terms that make sense to people
Yeah.
who are not like, you know, massively clued up in the industry. Like I think when it comes down to working with a lot of people, whether it be like labels, booking agents, anything like that, like even, you know, distribution companies, like there's so much jargon that, like, especially in like contracts, that you're like, oh, this is chill. Like you talk to a label and you're like, oh, this is chill because it's a label. And then you sign a contract and you're like, fuck. Probably shouldn't have done that actually. now I don't have a house anymore. Like my house, my shoes, and my symbols have all been taken. And I have to write 16 albums this week. Like so like I know having someone like, you know, who gets the shit is cool, has been really helpful. trying to think. That's pretty like the.
Plus, we haven't made it. We're
Yeah,
not
that's
like
the
selling
thing. That's the
stadiums.
thing.
We've been like very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Like that we've had this response. Like we're on like Mathcore Index forum and all those sort of things, and like just seeing those sort of like the people who are on that just enjoy our music is just fucking cool.
Yeah,
Like
and
we
that
didn't
actually-
release this for the idea of being famous or like, oh, we want to get X amount of streams in a week.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
bullshit. Like we just released an album because we're happy with this album and it's an expression of our own like ways. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like that's all I want to do.
To add on to that as well, and I think this is something that's like probably almost as important, is become mates with bands that you like. Give like, and not even just in a sense of like, yo, I think you guys are sick and you'll promote my music. Promote the fuck out of your friends, because the chances are like it all goes in a circle. I mean, that's
People
what, you know,
talk.
that's, people talk, and if you're that band who are like, oh yeah, you know, I want X, Y, and Z band to say that my band's sick, but when they do something, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to bother supporting them. Like, no one's going to support your band. No one wants to. Like, we've made so through, you know, since essentially Gender Trait came out, we've made so many sick friends from not even just from the UK. Like, obviously, we've been friends with Pupil Slicer for years now. We've made homies like Dreamwell, the Oma homies in the US, like trying to think who else I can even shout out right now. Full 50 Feet. In Case You Leave. Fuck, I know I'm missing so many.
Oh, there's a shit ton of them out there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many.
Like
we've become like really good friends with, who, like, we think they're sick, and then we dropped our album, and they were bumping our shit. I was like, oh, actually, this is really nice. This is what the community and the scene is meant to be.
Exactly.
Like, going from like a few people knowing the band within the mathcore, hardcore, metalcore, whatever we fall into, whatever we decide to fall into, like a few people knowing about the band there, to it being like, oh, this scene is sick because people, yeah, they like our band, but there are so many good bands to fuck with at the same time.
Yeah, loads.
That it's like the idea of, I know, doing like a tour. It's not, okay, cool, we're gonna go on tour with a band that we don't really like, or like, you know, we'll play this show of this band that we don't really give a shit about, but it might be all right for us. It's like, when we're thinking about our future tours and the discussions we've been having like behind the scenes about tours and stuff, we're like, yo, there's like 100 bands that we'd like to go on a tour with.
Yeah.
And we know it'd be sick because they're sick and they're mates as well.
Yeah.
So absolutely, shout out all the homies. That's maybe even the most important thing. Shout out all the homies, because the homies will shout. How do you even say it?
Shout out for you.
Yeah,
That's the
shout out
one.
for you, yeah.
That's the one. That's the one.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
He's a
it's really
philosopher.
cool because
Yeah,
we play
exactly.
such weird ass music that a lot of people aren't going to be into, that you kind of have to come together as a community.
100%.
That's totally what's
Yeah.
happened. Like it's crazy how interactive people are with each other, and like how this is so much
Yeah,
different from
100%.
like the deathcore community or something, because we're not just arguing over like if this band actually does breakdowns
Yeah.
well or what. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're actually like
Trick
coming together and having
question, because
conversations.
no deathcore band does breakdowns well.
Whoa.
Shots fired. All right.
Deathcore is cancelled.
You heard it here first. I'm aiming at all you deathcore kids.
So it looks like you guys are back to playing shows. You got some scheduled for the end of this month, right?
Let's go!
These will be your first shows back, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and first shows with George. George
Yeah.
has never played a deathcore show.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Alrighty, yeah.
it's
That's
gonna be
fucking sick.
stupid.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
so
so
much
good.
fun. It's gonna be like we've like run through the set that we're gonna play a couple of times, and we're doing like again this weekend, and
It's gonna go
fuck,
off.
it's gonna go
It
off.
is
That's
so
all I
good.
can say. Like it's nice to like be in a practice room, playing the songs, and being like, fuck, I want to mosh to my own song right now. Like, I'm gonna get out from behind this kit, and I'm just gonna beat Harry up.
I still think we
Like,
should start the set like that.
we'll beat each other up.
You just
so
run
down.
at me.
I just start fighting in the. Okay,
Yeah,
that sounds
I'm
really good,
so
actually.
down
I
with
like that. I like that a lot.
I'm so down with that.
So while we're talking about this, you did do a set live at the Book House. I actually
Yeah.
just found this today, and I went through them.
Oh
but,
shit!
yeah, I'm gonna be playing them on stream when we're talking about this. What
Awesome.
would be your best show? I guess Harry, just unless
Yeah,
George, you
yeah.
went to it.
As in,
I actually,
what Death Goals has played?
Yeah, Death Goals.
yeah.
Your best show.
I have a personal favorite Death Goal show that I've been to.
You go
Uh,
first.
Go.
Sure. So basically, like, myself and a couple of mates put a show on in our hometown.
I knew you could choose.
Yeah,
this
because
one.
this is just the best. All right, so we put it on in this venue, and the venue were like, we prefaced to the venue beforehand, like, there was like maybe six bands on the bill, something like
Yeah.
that. And we prefaced to the venue like, all these bands are either hardcore or power violence, or like there was like one black metal band, like black and hardcore, I guess, band. And we said to the venue like, yo, these bands are heavy, they're loud. Like, are you aware? Do you understand this? They're like, yeah, of course. Of course.
Like, do you know what you're getting yourself
Yeah,
into?
do you know what you're getting
Genuinely.
into? So, through sound check, they like.
Wait, before even that, we got shown up to the venue and they thought it was on a different day.
Oh yeah, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, which was always sick. And then during sound check, they were like, "Yeah, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it." Like we have like they had like upstairs neighbors or something in like the flats that were like next to the venue. And we were like, "Well, you booked the show. You knew what you were getting into. So first band plays, kept getting asked to turn down, turn down, turn down."
It ended up just being the drummer and the vocalist just screaming over
Yeah,
the drummer.
yeah. 'Cause
What
it
the
was
fuck?
Just like,
It was sick. It was really
kind
cool.
of sick actually. But essentially, it got to the point where the show got shut down. Like,
I think I don't know who I said it to, but I was like, Mr. Lizard were about to go on, and I was like,
yeah,
there's no way these boys are turning down, and they will fight someone for it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then halfway through their song, people was like turning off, and Adam instantly just started trying to hammer Rob. Instantly. Just like,
So like,
Travis did it.
so that got shut down, and then we like messaged this this other venue.
the
in our
actual
hometown.
venue in our hometown.
The actual venue, and they were doing like a, was it like
Jam
a
night.
Jam night, yeah. And we were like, yo, can we just carry all of this shit across town right now, and just have the show there? And they were like, yeah, but like, you know, we have to pay entry, and obviously everyone who was already at the show at this other venue was like, yeah, whatever, I'll pay a $5. Like, this is a sick lineup. Like, I was literally watching it for free.
Did that venue
Like-
not refund people's money?
No, that venue's been shut down.
Yeah, that
since.
venue's shut down now.
Everyone
Dude,
complained.
they
shut
deserved
down
it.
now.
Holy shit,
Oh,
that's fucked
Yeah, it
up.
was so shit.
Fuck, it's now been turned into flats. Fuck that place.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
So like, so we carried everything, like PA, instruments, drunk it, everything like across to this other venue, and then
You were losing your
I
mind.
was losing my fucking mind because I was like, like the venue, so it's a place called Club 85. It's actually where we're doing our hometown like album release show in a couple of weeks, and it's like a venue, like a proper venue, and obviously it had gone from being like a jam night with a couple of people there to then now a bunch of grotty bands and grotty like hardcore kids have all turned up, and I was like, fuck, okay, I guess I've now got to be a promoter and the stage manager at the same time, which I've never done, of being like, okay, can you guys set up as soon as possible and get on?
Everyone was
So-
umming and ahhing as well.
Yeah, everyone was like, oh, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Like, we literally rushed from one venue to another. I was like, all right, let's do it. So Death Goals come on, and
Instantly, we're like, we'll just go on. We'll just do it.
So they'd started, and I was so stressed. I was like, right, I'm getting the shots in, and I was like fucking doing these shots, and I was like instantly like, I was already somewhat tipsy because I was like, oh, it's a free show like at this other place. I was like, I don't have to fucking do anything. Get drunk. This is sick. I just get drunk and watch a bunch of fucking grotty bands, and all of a sudden I was like, no way, I'm the stage manager now. So I got real drunk real quick and proceeded to what I like to call leave pit retirement.
Leave what?
Which was
Pit retirement.
Pit
So basically-
retirement?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I was like, essentially.
You
I
were
don't know how-
the one guy crowd killing, basically.
Yeah. I was the one guy like swinging my leg, like moshing so hard because like I was a huge, well, obviously still am. I was like huge Defcos fan anyway, and it was like one of the only bands in the lineup that had panic chord breakdowns, which is my favorite
Your favourite
thing.
type.
My absolute favorite type of breakdown. So like Harry was it's like a big stage at the venue, but Harry was like down on the floor with like a mic and guitar, and I was just like spin kicking like over Harry's head.
It's sick. There's some really cool pictures of that show where like it's you just like throwing a fist at me, just like ducking
Yeah.
under it. It's
So like
sick.
that was
That's
my
awesome.
that was my
That was a wicked
absolute
show.
favorite Defcos set. It was so sick, and then like Defcos have always killed it whenever I've seen them live anyway. So like that was
My
that was
favorite show,
sick to go
100%, was the Stacy show. The Stacy Let Me See a Stegosaurus release show was mental. It's for my uni thing.
Mm.
We like made a backdrop. We'd like got ourselves like facing each other. It was sick. My guitar broke within like the second song,
Nice.
and in classic form. And so I spent 5 minutes just talking to like my uni tutors who were grading me on this piece of work, and all my friends who were there, being like, "So that's just funny how everything breaks, eh?" Ba, 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 ba." I got a higher mark because of that.
Nice.
Than my like improv. And then someone lent me a guitar, and I just proceeded to just absolutely beat the shit out of everyone else in the crowd. It was great. It was a great show. It's one of my favorites I've ever done.
So your
Absolutely.
professors thought that was good then? Like the
Oh,
music
they were
and
like,
shit?
your ability to improvise on the spot when technicalities came wrong was
No,
incredible.
I mean the
I was
actual
like,
song though. Like they liked your song?
Oh yeah, dude, they banged the tunes. They were
That's fucking
in.
sick.
They were loving it. The whole set, they
So
were
hard.
like, "Oh, this is." Well, it's because it's like I feel like we have a very good habit of being able to win people over who do not listen to our stuff because it's just high energy. So no matter what, if you don't like hardcore, you can come to our show and go, "This is just fun. This is just really fun." So yeah, that'll definitely be one of my favorites. But the ones coming up, I can't wait for.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure
so
they're
excited.
gonna be insane.
I'm
So let's
excited.
counter this. What's your worst show?
Oh, this is 100% the same one.
yeah.
Or-
So the funny. Okay, Harry, I'm gonna
is
have
it?
to. The
Actually, no. I have one that
No?
was genuinely. That one was bad for many reasons. This one
Alright.
was worse.
All right. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
You go
Mine's
first.
short.
All right, cool.
I played a St. Defcons played a St. Patrick's Day show at Suya in London, which is like opposite. I can't remember what venue. It's at the actual Scala. It's opposite
Scala.
Scala.
Yeah.
It's a tiny. It's now a ping pong table like restaurant. It's dead.
Sick.
We played down there, and we did like it was a night of just deathcore bands, like the most like they all rocked up, and the whole like block smelled like fucking weed, like the most deathcore kids you've ever met, like fuck shit. So like we like start like doing sound check, and the sound guy's going, "No, you're too loud, too loud, too loud." I'm like, "What do you mean we're too loud?" He's like, "We've got a noise limiter, and if you go over a certain volume, the whole show gets pulled." So everyone else had like
Really? What the fuck?
a plug-in like Axe effects, like digital stuff that you can like put through a PA, and it's going to be only a certain level. Fine. I don't have that shit. I'm an old-fashioned boy. I just turn things up loud. No bass amp, no like a really crap guitar amp that I was using for the show. We had the classic. All the bands were like, "Oh yeah, man, we'll watch you guys," and they were all in the green room as we started, and I
Nice.
just lost my shit. I was so angry playing to like 2 people, where the sound guy was constantly bollocking me for turning up. I was like, "Fuck this!" That show was awful. There
That
was no
sounds awful.
no good caveat to that show. None. The show was just dog shit.
See,
This show, you're gonna say, was better.
yeah.
A mess,
I mean-
but funny.
Yeah, so basically, like, my old band did this like an album release show. Defco supported. Essentially, like, no one fucking turned up, which was
Nice.
so sick. It was like one of those things. Like the Facebook event says, like, you know, there's gonna be like 150 people there, and then there's 4. Like, and that's the bands.
Yeah, just
And,
played in the
To be
band.
fair, Dan showed up from Ill-Informed. He was the
Shout out.
one bastard.
Shout out Dan, yeah, Dan did turn up. And then, yeah, Harry just proceeded to basically, I try to remember what the fuck even happened.
We were struggling with technical difficulties the whole night, as I'm
Yeah.
prone to. I
That
will
sucks.
say, and like the second to last song was kicking off. It was just about to build to its big crescendo part, and then my entire thing just died, and I lost my shit, and I just threw my guitar across the thing, just said, "Yeah, we're done." Like,
So,
I have a tendency to be a tiny bit of a diva sometimes.
so like, I was like stood there watching it, and I just like obviously the guitar like flies across this pretty empty venue floor.
Was that when I
So-
nearly hit Esther?
Yeah. So then,
Yeah, I
so
nearly
then,
hit Booney's girlfriend, not a wife.
wife now. Yeah. So they nearly took out our manager's wife with a guitar. That was fucked.
That show wasn't good. Or there's a lot of shows where we've just played and it's been a nightmare, but they're fun. So like, the last show we played in November,
Oh yeah.
we won't talk about for you because it was genuinely upsetting for you to watch you. But
My
I
band
ended
broke
up,
up because of that show.
yeah, it was not a good
Damn.
show.
My band broke up because of that show.
So in the
So bad.
first song, no, second song of our set, I'd broken 3 strings on my guitar. I then proceeded to swing my guitar into the ceiling where I took one of the tuning pegs off of it. Then my cable broke and I couldn't work it, so I borrowed Tim's like Telecaster that was in a different tuning to the one I was using. So I just had to play all the songs in a wrong tuning. We're the masters of improvisation.
Dude,
Yeah.
hell yeah. That's awesome, man. Like, honestly, that does even sound like fun. Like, the bad shows sound like they're actually kind of fun.
Oh,
Except for
That
that
also
one
was
where that
really-
guy was telling you to turn it down, keep turning it down.
Oh.
I'd have been so upset with that one, too.
dude,
Yeah,
it was
that
literally like, why
sucks.
did you book these bands at a venue where you
Right.
got
Yeah.
a capacity limit? Like, what is the point? And then some kids, they all came out for the deathcore one. They all came out, and instantly someone broke their nose because some guy in a tiny room was crowd killing. I was like, what the fuck is your problem?
Was it me?
It wasn't you.
I didn't
very quickly
watch
left and
your
just got-
set.
Just got really drunk. I think I went home and watched Madagascar and got fucked. Like,
Sick.
it was
Nice.
a way better
Good
night.
way to cap off the night. I like
Mate, I just love that. I just love those fucking lemurs, man.
Have you ever played any place super weird? Like in the past, I mean, you've heard the show. We've talked to people. We've talked to someone that played for 5-year-olds at an elementary school. Someone played in a ice cream parlor. You have anything weird like that?
The best one. So we've played like a vegan restaurant when none of us were vegan. For like a animal cruelty like charity show, which is fine. I like eating vegan stuff anyway, but that was
Okay.
funny.
And
We have
animals.
And animals, obviously. Also fucking, I can't remember. Oh no, the best one. We played a wedding.
Okay.
Oh,
So my
shit,
friend
yeah, I
Zach,
forgot you
my
mentioned
friend
that.
Zach
That's
and
so
Miranda met and got married very quickly. And he was at uni with me, and he was like, I need someone to play music at the show. Like, I've already got like my friend Hetty, who's doing a lovely like piano bit. There was a band called Floral Shop, who were like some weird like
So sick.
space age alien, like they all
Love
dress
that
up in like
band.
cool outfits. They were gonna do some
Yeah,
lovely
yeah.
songs. And he's
Okay.
like, I'd love it if Deaf Girls would play it. And I was like, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's like everyone else
So-
would hate it, but yeah.
Oh, genuinely. So like we ended up like we were like, what do you want us to wear? And they were like, we don't care. So we showed up wearing trash bags to this wedding. So we were in like, it was a beautiful outfit. We were wearing trash bags that I'd like cut out like arm and head holes out of. So we were wearing those. We played a cover of Living the Vida Loca that we'd like messed up. So it was like had like beat downs in it. We like the pub was also like it wasn't just like the weddings like people, it was like full of just other people enjoying a night out and then just us being horrible. The bride's mum then came up and said, yeah, I really enjoyed that. I was like, did you?
No, you
Did you?
No, you didn't.
That was the best show. That show was so funny.
It's so
those
good. Holy
Zach and
shit.
Miranda were icons. They came to every show. When they were at uni with me, they came to every fucking show. They were such icons.
That's sick as fuck.
Did anybody in the crowd like absolutely hate you and was like booing you or anything like
No, everyone like some of
Really?
the people
Okay.
said some of the stuff were like you need to turn down a little bit, but even then, like it was still a loud show where like I was still like throwing mic stands at like being a dickhead. Like it was
All in a
fucking
trash
great.
bag.
Oh, dude, all
Were you wearing
pretty
underwear at least, or were you
Oh
just
yeah,
like?
I was wearing like jeans and bits.
Okay.
But like a trash bag, like if anyone was thinking of it, not great to play a show in. Really sweaty.
Yeah, I can
So-
imagine.
So you took it off after, and you were like just wet. Like you looked like you'd had like
Oh.
it was disgusting. And then it was like giving us a hug. It was like, don't hug us. Do not hug us. This is disgusting. The wedding show was fucking amazing. Well, I'll play more weddings. Bar mitzvahs, funerals, I'll play them
Yeah.
all.
We do weddings
Whatever.
now. Let's go.
Yeah, we do bookings. We're a wedding band now. And there was that fucking video on Facebook somewhere ages ago of like some like proper like grind band playing someone's wedding. I was like, that's amazing.
That's so sick.
It's you
That's
guys
us.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's us now. We're the wedding band of
we do
hardcore.
it. I'm so down. I'm
So,
down.
what was the last thing you guys listened to?
I'll look up on Spotify.
Do you know what? Fucking have to look.
Old
Actually,
Mystic by Rollo Tomasi.
Oh, okay, okay, nice.
An old school Rollo Tomasi banger.
Right, right. That's the good shit
Rollo
right there.
Tomasi. Rollo Tomasi is sick as fuck. Such a good band.
Hell
Amazing
yeah.
band to see live. They're ridiculous.
Uh,
I saw them ages ago with like Employees of Server opening, and that was a ridiculous
Dude, that
show.
sounds like a good show.
That was a
Holy fuck.
wicked
that's
show,
fucking-
man.
That's a mad lineup. That's
Oh,
a mad
yeah.
lineup, to be fair. Mine is Drones by O Hiroshima.
Haven't heard
Yeah,
of them
if you do.
before.
I don't know who
Like
that is.
a post-rock band. I'm a big post-rock guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds alright.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah. I've been on trying to think though. But before that actually was I listened through all of the God Apollo Code and Cambria record.
Oh
I was listening
yeah!
I was listening to that on my lunch break today. That was
Oh,
sick.
what a shout! I didn't know you fucked with Coheed that much.
Yeah, big time.
Oh, dude, we're gonna 100% be vibing some Coheed on tour. 100%.
You
I
damn well
fucking
know.
love
I
Coheed and
saw,
Cambria.
I saw Coheed like the last Arctangent festival.
Oh,
which was-
sick.
Not last year, year before. Basically, I'd got way too high and missed Frontiera's set, and then missed Daughter's set.
To be
as
fair,
well.
probably for the best. If you're too high, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
You need to
Yeah, I
see.
was
was
gonna say,
watching,
it's gonna be weird.
That's
watching,
upsetting.
I watched that fucking that Nordic Giants band and got really high and
Oh,
had an epiphany, basically, and had to go back and lay in my tent. And yeah, I missed Frontiera and Daughters, and I woke up and everyone was like in the campsite, like, "Yo, Coheed are playing it. This band's kind of shit." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, no one woke me up, and I just proceeded to lay there. Anyway, so I was like, the one thing I really want to see is like Welcome Home, like just
Yeah,
'cause
the banger.
the banger. And I was like, all right, fuck this. Like, I'm gonna walk into the arena to go for a pee, and I walked all the way down there, like hangover coming in, stone over coming in, and as soon as I walked past the main stage, like the riff started, and I was like, this is actually the sickest song of all
It's so
time.
good. Coheed,
And-
they get
and
so
then-
much shit from people, but they're actually sick.
yeah, they're so sick.
They're
I
such a
fuck
sick.
with that band hard. I fuck with that band hard. Was it?
Billy Reimer. No, Chris
Oh,
Penny. Chris Penny was the drummer for a while.
Yeah, it's fucking. I was trying to think because someone was talking about in one of these. Was it Keonashi? Were
Probably.
they talking
I
about?
think they brought him
Coheed?
up. Yeah,
Yeah, I was watching that one and I was like, "That's so sick," and I hear that.
they actually
that band a
mentioned
lot.
them like in the lyrics of their album. Like they call out.
Yeah, yeah,
they call them
yeah.
out by name. Yeah, yeah.
So sick.
Oh,
so
that's
sick.
sick.
Dude,
Uh,
that band are amazing.
So, what would be your album of the year, either for last year or up to this point this year?
Ooh, I got one for both. To be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
So for
on my
me,
list.
I'm gonna double check the list. Last year's was that Loathe record. And if you check that out, it's like
I've heard a couple of songs. I
Yeah.
didn't get through the whole thing though. There's too much shit.
Yeah, there's like I don't know, like I mean I'm a huge Deftones fan,
Hmm.
so like
Oh, I'm not saying that
yeah.
they sound bad. I'm just saying there's so
Oh,
many
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah,
releases. Okay.
oh yeah, like there was like last year was so sick for music. To be fair, like
Mm.
that Loathe record, that Porches record, the 18 Visions record last year was so sick. trying to think what else even came out last year now. James Blake put some shit out last year. I know I could go for this for last year for ages. Harry, you can do last year, and then I'll do this year.
Mine for last year was Mets, Alice Vending.
Oh,
The album was
shit.
unreal.
I have
Yeah.
never heard of them before. I know
Oh.
Mets is a baseball team. That's what I know.
That as well. They're a Canadian
dude.
like noise rock band. They're
Yeah,
fucking
so
unreal.
sick.
Both their first two albums are some of my favorite albums of all time. But they just released like an album last year where they started writing just really long songs, which you wouldn't think works for noise rock, but like,
dude, it's so
they,
sick.
it's just so good. Like so that or like the Clipping album, like
that was good.
the Clipping album was unreal.
Crazy.
That was stupid. This year, like, I mean, I like obviously the Dreamwell album. Shout out. Obvious mentions. Dreamwell, People Slicer, obviously,
Slicer, let's
the
go.
gang. But my the Portrait of Guilt album, I haven't heard anything that's topped that so far. Like it's my number one. That album is just, it's just stink face the whole time. It just makes me just go like, oh, good fucking god! Like it's so good. It's just horrible. I love that album.
Even like adding on to that as well, like the Full 50 Feet record that just came out.
It's ridiculous.
So sick. That's like one of my top for this year. The For Your Health record is sick.
Obviously.
Was the Null record this year? I think that was this year, right?
A what? What record?
Null.
Null. Yeah. It was this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called, but yeah, those guys are fucking sick too.
Yeah. Oh, Gel. Gel's album this year is really good. Gel's album's really good. Wicked hardcore band. There's not been loads. This is just everyone's had a year to be on their best shit. Everyone's just coming out with
exactly.
Especially like
the Death Heaven album that's coming out, like.
And like all this shit's just gotten announced recently of like all these other bands releasing stuff. Like it's just gonna get crazier towards the end of the year, I'm sure.
It's gonna be a really hard year for like top 10s.
Right.
Yeah, massively. I mean, like I think I'd say like my favorite so far this year. I think I have like two favorites, like the Bicep record that came out. Like I'm a big like electronic music guy, so that was sick. And then there's that band Sweet Trip put a record out as well. It was like they're like a dream pop kind of band. Like dream pop, yeah. Like dream pop, like shoegazy kind of vibe. But it's like their first record since like 2009, I think it was, and that came out like real surprise thing. That was fucking sick. Yeah, this year is going to be a difficult one for sure. So many sick records, especially for heavy music as well. Like I know last year there were like a bunch of really good heavy records, but a lot of like my top were all like not heavy. And then this year, like I've been on like, seems like every week there's a new heavy record that comes out that I'm like, oh, okay, actually this is the best album of this year. And then the next Friday I'm like, fuck, actually never mind. Like
definitely true. Back to you guys though. So you've got shirts, tapes, and lathe cuts for Gender Trader.
Lathe cuts are gone.
They're gone. Okay.
They've been gone for ages.
Okay.
We've got a couple of the Ginger Trader shirts left, which I love. It's my favorite shirt we've ever done. Loads of the Wretch like shirts left. We've got our final variant of the like tapes out now, which when they're gone, they're gone. We're not doing any more tapes.
Yeah.
So the big question that y'all probably getting though is why is there no vinyl for the album?
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it. Be patient. Good things will come.
Yeah.
It's worth the wait, I promise.
Yeah. Is that a confirmation there?
No.
Yeah.
I talk shit. No one knows what I'm really mean. Gemini, baby. We two-faced as fuck. It may happen. Bits are in motion.
Bits are in motion. Yeah. I think the thing for us was like, because we put the record out and like, it was very much that obviously it's unsigned. Like, we didn't want to kind of
Make an
risk
investment
doing-
that you're not sure
yeah,
you can get back
and
on.
be
I
like,
gotcha.
oh shit, like.
But now
this is
every
gonna
bastard wants a fucking vinyl. I guess we're gonna have to fucking do it, aren't we?
Now we have to just like, yeah.
Y'all would
It
have
might happen.
absolutely killed it if y'all did pre-orders for vinyl and shit. But I understand like not
I
being able
know,
to
like,
see like
yeah.
Well,
and just
check
how
the
big this would have
socials
been.
in maybe
you know
a couple of weeks, and you might just have some.
Yeah, I guess the only thing we could say is like, keep
Basically,
your eye
if you
out.
buy all of our other shit, we might do it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
Trade agreement. You buy our shit, we might do vinyl.
yeah. Metalcore money, let's go.
Well, that's about all I had to talk about. Unless y'all had something else I wanted to bring up.
Who's your
Nah.
favorite Spice Girl?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I meant to ask y'all that. Yeah, I saw it in the thing. I honestly don't know much about Spice Girls. I know about Baby Spice. That's it.
Oh, Baby Spice is a great shout. Baby's the icon, to be fair. A
Hi,
legend.
baby.
Fuck off. Go on, choose your favorite Spice Girl.
Ginger Spice.
Ginger Spice, a banger.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Obviously.
What about you, Harry?
Ginger Spice also.
Yeah. That's why we were in a band
Yeah,
together.
that was the only question I asked. George was like, "Can I be in the band?" I was like, "Well, do you like Ginger Spice?" He was like, "Yes." Well,
Yeah,
sorry.
obviously.
Oh. What's your favorite breakdown, Chris? What's your favorite breakdown?
My favorite breakdown?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's probably the Peter Jennings one. I don't know the whole name of the song,
Yeah.
but for me,
It's a
call
good
it
one.
that.
Hard breakdown.
It is a
Such
fucking
a
stupid one,
hard
to be fair.
Fucking breakdown, yeah.
What about you
Well,
guys?
I'm
Your
gonna-
favorite breakdown? I haven't asked this question.
I just
before.
like these questions.
I
I'm just
like
enjoying
it,
this. Teach by the Chariot. Anyone else can get fucked.
Nah. Sorry, I'm gonna come through with a controversial one based off the Chariot. Fucking the. Oh my
he's-
god, what's the track name from?
Cell phones.
I used to hate cell phones, but now I hate car accidents.
Norma Jean, yeah.
Norma Jean, that breakdown.
Walk into Wall Street. Yeah, that is a
Walk into
stupid
Wall Street
breakdown.
with a straight jacket. Oh my god, it gets me so hyped.
Honorable mentions though. Underwater Bimbos. Obviously.
Cities and Years.
Cities and
Arguably
Years.
The best.
Alpha and Omega by Tony Danza.
Yeah.
Because that's the stupid one.
Oh yeah, but
Can I throw out a controversial take here? Never been a huge
Please.
Tony Danza fan.
It's too much most of the time.
I love.
I mean,
Well-
to me, it's the production that kind of turns me off. I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Their early stuff's
Yeah,
super
yeah.
rough, and then their later stuff, it's like, I don't know. It's not
It's
like.
like almost that. It's the worst type of like the Sumerian. Like, is all just so much. It's so like just too much.
Yeah.
But they are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, if you hear the Phil Bozeman part of Alpha and Omega, you don't just go, "What the fuck is that?" It's so sick.
I'm also throw a little one in here. 43% burn.
Oh,
classic.
definitely. Yeah.
The
There you go.
Classic.
The
The-
classic.
Just
like-
one with that one. I like it.
Yeah.
The classic breakdown.
I love
Right.
breakdance so much.
Mate,
I
it's the
fucking
best
love
part of
breakdance.
music. It's the only reason we
honestly.
do this.
Yeah, it's to make
You
breakdance.
just don't listen to breakdance. I like it.
Yeah. What was it? Did you not watch the like 2006 like compilations like hardest metalcore breakdown? That's what I was raised on.
I remember the little CDs you'd get at shows that were like compilations from like labels and shit.
Yeah.
The Victory
Yeah.
Records ones. I don't know if y'all got those
Oh.
in the UK.
Dude, shout out like OG Victory Records for real. That shit is so fucking hard. Was that like a? I mean, they had like a Muir controversial one.
You fucking
Controversial
love him
one.
you're so much.
You know what? All right, I love a Muir is taking it a step far. I love breakdowns by a Muir because they are just the most like.
I'm the same with
heinous.
Suicide Silence though. Suicide
Oh.
Silence have some. I know I called out Deathcore a moment ago, but Suicide Silence have some breakdowns.
I
like
see
Price
you
of Beauty.
backpedaling now.
Oh, that breakdown goes
So you're giving Suicide
So
Silence
hard.
a pass. I like it.
on like 4 songs. The rest of the songs are dead out. This is where one day we'll be like, "Oh yeah, Suicide Silence for like the tour of you." And I'm like,
It's like, whatever you do,
"We need to take the interview down."
only play those 4 songs and we'll come and tour with you.
So if you're having a too good of a day, looking for a way to completely fuck it up, you need to check out The Horrible and the Miserable, the debut full length from Death Goals, which dropped last month. You guys are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Bandcamp. You're also on all streaming platforms. Are there any other social plugs I'm missing?
No, we haven't got OnlyFans yet.
That's in the works. When the vinyl comes, OnlyFans might come.
Yeah,
You can only get the final through our OnlyFans.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
It's a picture disc.
Jesus Christ. As for me, drop my channel, follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming services, as well as some exclusive emotes. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you like the video, please drop me a like, tickle the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at thesoundthatenscreation.bandcamp.com. My next guest is Drew from MySpace era deathcore band, talking about deathcore, Shadow of the Colossus. Join us this Sunday, the 18th at 7 p.m. Central for the live
I'm
cast.
gonna be there.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Hope you all had a good time.
No worries. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
See you
Thank you.
soon.
It was so much fun.
Hell yeah.
See.
And thank you guys for watching and listening.